Everybody, we are back. It is Taped on Live's favorite podcast, favorite channel, favorite everything. We are back. You guys already know what to do. Hit the subscribe button, subscribe. Hit the like button if you like it. Hit the dislike button if you don't like it. Leave a comment if you like it. Leave a comment if you don't like it. Also follow us on Twitter at the Mark John NFL for me, at mholder95 for Matt, and of course pandasubs.com. Discount code TDL for 35% off. All right. So the Raiders, they got us excited. We're like, oh man, this is a game. We just came to play, and then second half happened.
It felt a lot like, even though it was pretty similar, even though it was like not quite 17-0, and I mean could have been with the missed field goal. It felt a lot like the first game last year, where it's like, all right, they have something going, and then it's just like, I don't know what happens in like the second quarter and on, but yeah, brutal way to lose a game, brutal way to blow a couple nice plays by beautiful catch by Jacoby Myers and that great run by Josh Jacobs. And then,
So the Raiders ended up losing 31-17. They didn't cover. I was like hoping they would cover, just making that plus 9.5. They didn't do that. Didn't cover. So they lost by 14. This second half, they're just bad. I think on offense and defense, they're bad. It's like finally a game where like the defense kind of, I wouldn't say got exposed, but they faced a good quarterback, I guess, or the best quarterback in football, basically. And he adjusted to how they were playing him, and once he adjusted to how they were playing him, it was done from there, basically. Yeah. Basically, that's basically what happened. But there were some interesting things that happened on defense. Let's start on defense because, of course, defense was the rave of the game. I mean, they're averaging 14 points a game before this at home. And they finally gave up more than 20 at home, I think, for the first time all year. So, yeah, because I'm trying to think of the other games they played at home. I think this is the first time because, I mean, they played the first game at home. I don't remember. But it feels like this is the first time they gave up more 20 points at home at this point. So, let's start there. Marcus Peters got benched. I think that was interesting. I guess there was
I've got a nickname for Marcus Peters, the Matador.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, just that's me. That's me doing my impression of Marcus Peters tackling. He's just the Matador, man, waving the right towel in front of the bull, just trying to make sure he doesn't get too angry or anything like that. But yeah, that was one of the big sticking points, and one of the things, like, as fucked up as it is like almost positive, because at least finally someone had enough and said, yeah, bud, we got to have you at least attempt to tackle, because again, that's what teams are going to do. That's what teams have done all year, is target him with screens and short passes and runs, and he can't tackle. And finally, they had enough. But I'll be interested to see how Jack Jones played, because it felt like for the most part, like he wasn't getting his name called or anything like that. It wasn't doing anything wrong. So I don't know. Maybe there's some future value there, but hopefully that's it for Peters for a while.
Yeah, that's also all they did was tack inside. I mean, it felt like when they went down 14-0, they started running the same play over and over again. And that's kind of the same thing that I saw last week with Patrick Graham. I think he got away with it last week. I noticed that on film that they, I showed that play against Tua and the Dolphins, and they let them run that play over and over and over again. And I was just thinking, like, wow, like how can you do this? You can't do this. You know what I mean? You can't just let the same team run this row over and over again. Then you watch the Jets the next week. They stopped that play. I mean, it's the main play the Dolphins run. And then you kind of saw that this week too. They saw how the Raiders were playing him, and they just started throwing to Travis Kelce on quick hitches right over the middle because nobody's there and they're not squeezed in the middle of the field. I don't know. It felt like they were playing Patrick Mahomes like he had Tyreek Hill, which I think was interesting. You don't have Tyreek Hill. So, it was a lot of that, like expecting him, like trying to keep him from throwing the deep ball, but they don't have those guys. So, that was a little bit for me. I think sometimes Patrick Graham can get a little too soft. In my opinion, and I feel like after the first time they dink and dunked you for a touchdown, I think it's time like, hey, maybe we should, get a little more physical at the line. Yeah, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, like on the touchdown of Rashee Rice, like their biggest or one of their most explosive plays of the game was a short drag that they just got caught in zone, and Nate Hobbs carried his receiver too far, and they ended up getting beat. So. Yeah, and I think the Chiefs, I mean, I don't know. Again, the all 22 will tell us a little bit more, but from what I could see, it definitely seemed like anytime the Chiefs saw that they had Kelce with good old number 5 around them anywhere near them, they were going to throw the ball at Kelce, and it worked just about every time. Divine Diablo, like not that I expected much from him, could not cover him all game and was missing him in zone again too. There was one play that sticks in my mind too that you were talking about, like him going over the middle to my Diablo, middle hook defender, staring in the backfield again, like we've seen time and time after again, and getting beat.
So. Yeah, because part of this game, it just felt like it was a talent issue. Like I felt like the Raiders had more talent on this team. They actually would have been a closer game. That's what it felt like after a while. Like it was like a great game plan, and they came out and they played good on defense at the beginning, and then they played good on offense at the beginning, and like the game plan was good. But then it just became a talent thing after the game plans were over, right? And we get past the first 15 and all that stuff. It became like a talent thing. And I think that's what we started to see. We started to see the Raiders just aren't talented enough to go out and beat this type of team. You know what I mean? So.
Yeah, that's true. At the end of the day, that is the big problem, especially defensively. And that's, I feel like they've been getting away with it. And then, like you said, when they play an elite quarterback like Patrick Mahomes, that once Mahomes figured out, oh yeah, they're just gonna give me all this stuff underneath, and some of my guys can outrun these dudes with the ball in their hands, and it ended up happening. And Pacheco, I mean, I don't know what Pacheco ran for, but that was the other thing that the Chiefs were doing that was weird. That they like refused to run the ball in the first quarter, and then when they started doing it, it was like the Raiders could have had a hard time stopping it. Maybe Pacheco only had 3.7, but still,
it was a short passes, man. I mean,
at the end of the day. Yeah.
But that's how Patrick Graham plays defense. I remember when I had the Giants guys on there, and I asked him like if he was more aggressive. Like, no, that's just how he plays defense sometimes. And I saw in the Dolphins game, he got away with it. I think he got away. They really got away with that game plan of just playing soft against the Dolphins. But it was just. That's really what it was. But I mean, sometimes it's just talent though, man, because Marcus Peters won't tackle. So then you're like, okay, what do I do? Right? How do I change this up? So I got to put Jack Jones in there. So I got to put Amik Robertson out there. Amik Robertson, I don't know how many teams he starts for in the NFL. Let's keep it real. We keep it real. How many teams does he start for in the NFL, right? And even Divine Diablo at this point, like how many teams does he start for? And you have to kind of look at it like that a little bit too. It gets a little rough there, and that's when you kind of see a guy who can just dink and dunk for like and not throw a pass over 5 yards for the rest of the game, and just slow bleed to 31 points, and that's how it happens if you can't do on the other side of offense. So yeah.
I mean, I feel like you nailed it defensively. There were a few highlights though. I felt like at least.
I mean, they play hard.
Yeah, they do. That's like they do. Play hard. I mean, I thought Kuntz actually had a decent game. Got some pressure. He didn't. I don't think he ended up getting a sack, but got a few pressures and had a nice rep where he set the edge against the run. Not used to seeing that from him too much, but that's one bright spot if I can say. I mean,
yeah. I mean, especially in a game where Max Crosby's banged up, I felt like he stepped up a little bit. Obviously, not good enough, but got some pressures and helped Max get his his 11th sack of the year, something like that. 11 and a half Max is up to now. So, yeah, I mean, I don't know. It just on defense, you kind of just at that game at that point, you just felt the talent part of it.
Yeah.
Let's talk about offense a little bit. They started off really strong on offense too. Had a great run game, 63-yard touchdown, a good first drive with a touchdown pass by Aiden O'Connell. I mean, it was a great start, but I think in the second half we got to the same issues they had all year. They sucked on third down. I think I would say they got too run heavy in the second half because you could tell the game was like kind of getting to the point where they're getting ahead of it, like where they're still doing these second down runs and all those things are really pushing the run game. Like in the red zone when they ran that crack toss, I was like, that's not gonna work, man. Come on. And some of those things they were doing in the run game, I thought they pushed it a little bit too much. I still think they're a little scared of O'Connell throwing the ball a lot. You kind of feel that. Especially like on that 4th and 1. I mean, that was the most telegraphed run play I've ever seen in my life. I knew there was like
the one where your boy James got beat, or was that one you're talking about?
Yeah, that's one. Yeah. James got his butt kicked. So that was most telegraphed run play, and those type of plays. So I feel like that's where you show that you don't want the ball in his hands too much, right? They're trying to keep the ball out of his hand because I really feel like they allowed the Chiefs to kind of control the game after that by trying to keep doing what the Chiefs were doing on the other side. Like the Chiefs changed their whole game plan. They weren't trying to be explosive, right? They were going to do 12 play 75-yard drives up and down the field on the Raiders, and I think that thought process needed to change up, and where we need to play a little faster and put some more physical, more I don't know, get more up tempo or something. Like, yeah, I don't know. It just felt like they kept with the same game plan when the Chiefs changed their game plan, and I took this just as an offensive coordinator, kind of have to have that feel, but.
Yeah. I mean, I think we saw the effects too of not only like having a rookie quarterback, but also having a rookie offensive coordinator, like you're saying, like the fourth down run, like that was so obvious. But then you also look at a lot of what is it? Is it Hardegree? Can't say it right now, but like there were also points where like he got way too cute. Like we're talking about all the trick plays that he's running. I'm like, dude, at some point, like just give the ball to the reigning rushing champ and just let him run. Like, you know what I mean? And like, or drop a dime to the best receiver in the game like he did earlier in the game. And it's just, it was, to me, like, to get on a little bit of a tangent, like I felt like the Raiders coaching, like in the youthful, like how young that team is and like at big spots, at quarterback, at offensive coordinator, at head coach with Antonio Pierce, like I felt like that got exposed today. And they lost to guys that are, at the top of the game, at the top of the league, and Andy Reid and Patrick Mahomes, like, but
yeah, I agree with you on that. And that's the thing on offense. Like, I feel like, O'Connell was playing pretty well too. Like he wasn't playing bad enough where you felt like that I can't, put the ball in his hands a little bit more. You have to. What you gonna do? I mean, to me at this point, like you got to evaluate him. You just can't hide him. The game was, you can feel it once they went up 21-14. It's like, okay, the defense really can't stop them that much. We're not stopping them. We're not gonna get the ball back that much because we're doing slow football. Like you got to put the ball in his hands and spread the damn ball out. And if he throws picks, they lost by 14 anyways. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
like
true.
You know what I mean? Like it's just.
And he was.
Fuck it, let's go.
He was dropping dimes down the field like that ball. Adams in the first half, and then the second half, that great catch by Jacoby Myers. Like that was. He was playing well. He's just again like you said, just so conservative. And then it's like it felt like they couldn't capitalize on the explosive plays because of that, right? I feel like, I mean, I don't know for certain, but I'm just going off the top of my head. Like they hit the big play to Jacoby Myers and they just go and run the ball and get stuffed. And it's like, no, man, like
twice. No, that wasn't.
Yeah, let's get on the ball. Let's get on the ball and like let's go push the tempo a little bit. Like let's get them on. You got them on the ropes. Like don't stop throwing punches, man. But again, rookie head coach, rookie quarterback, rookie offensive coordinator. It's a bad combo against
all of it.
Those guys.
All of it. But this is what happens when you fire the coach, right? I mean, I think at this point we're like, we're kind of seeing what happens when they fire the coach. But I still think you could tell that they're ready to play. They're prepared. There's a lot of good things, but I think sometimes these guys can't overcoach the talent though on this team, and that's what we're seeing. We're seeing these guys can't. And who knows, how they get better, or maybe it keeps going and they find ways to adjust right now. But I think they got to find ways. I mean, they're getting way too cute out there. I think I don't know what that 4th and 21 play was. I don't know what the hell that was.
I mean, I think we were talking about before the show. Like, I don't know if that was supposed to be a double pass or just like the pitchy woo woo, which didn't seem like that's like your last ditch effort in a 1-possession game. Like, why are we doing that on 4th and 21? But a great example of how they just don't trust O'Connell. The fact that they needed 20 yards and threw it behind the line of scrimmage or at the line of scrimmage.
See, that's my thing of going back to not trusting O'Connell because it's 4th and 21 and you need a first down. You throw a screen. I was like, oh yeah, y'all really don't. Y'all don't believe. They don't believe. Yeah. So if you guys get I see some people talk about fans. They don't believe. You do on 4th and 21 and the game's on the line and you throw a screen throwback pass. I don't know. That's not confidence for a rookie quarterback, in my opinion. I just, that's just not like if I was a quarterback, I wouldn't feel like very like the coach believes in me. It's 4th and 21. He's calling a throwback screen. I don't know.
And if it was a double pass, the fact that they trusted a wide receiver to throw the ball on 4th and 21 with like any hopes of the game on the line, like that really tells you they don't trust Aiden O'Connell right now. Like.
That was everything. That was their feelings. I was like, man, wow. 4th and 21. We're just gonna, wow. Okay. All right. I mean, because after the Myers throw, bro, I mean, I would have kept throwing. I would be like, you know what? He looks kind of hot right now. Let's just go. Let's just keep going. And like I said, what is the worst that could happen at that point when, you know, the thought process? That's why, like, you know, it's funny. I was talking to BD yesterday, and BD was talking about like them tanking. And I was like, BD, I don't think you understand that they think they can make the playoffs. And he couldn't figure it out. He's like, why? And I'm like, bro, because I don't know, because they're 5-6, and that's how they play. They play like they had a playoff chance. And I think you, and I guess you could feel like they have that because they're 5-6 and they're one game away. But man, once it went up to 21-14, it's like, I don't know. I don't know. That's just me though.
Yeah, no, I feel you. Once, like, I was kind of in the same boat. Like, once the Chiefs started getting a lead, I'm like, I've seen this movie before. Like, I know how this ends, kind of deal. But yeah, it's
yeah. And I think somebody said they're playing for the job. The coach is playing for the job, and I get it. I don't know, but I feel like when you're playing for your job, if I was playing for my job, I'm going out swinging. That's just me. I'm not going out.
Yeah.
And like the 4th and 1 call, the 4th and 1. The field goal, the Carlson missed it, and all I did was thought about last week's reaction. That's the first thing I thought about.
That's why I texted you right there. I'm like, Antonio Pierce is sitting there, like every journalist, every fan is asking him for kick field goals last week. He's like, see, this is why I didn't do it. But again, I feel like too, like kind of what I was talking about with Pierce earlier, like he's still kind of figuring out like his identity as a coach or whatever, and still figuring out like the game management thing. I think he's a great motivator. I think that's pretty clear, especially with how the Raiders came out. But like, not going for it when last week you went for it on 4th down before. Like, you kind of got to have that mentality of like, this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to live by the sword, die by the sword, and he just doesn't right now. The timeouts at the end of the first half, like situation, like the challenge on the Devontae Adams play on 3rd and 1, like it was today. I felt like for me, it was like, okay, this is the best example of how Antonio Pierce is just kind of showing his lack of experience as a head coach and how to manage the game. Like at that point where, I mean, I guess that's stuff that you can learn a little bit and you can kind of find your identity, but how much longer do you want, how much leash do you want to give him to figure that stuff out is going to be the big question for Mark Davis to answer. Yeah,
for sure, man. I mean, that's the big thing. I mean, like I said, there's still winnable games left for the Raiders. You know, even though, you know, the Chiefs are you know, they're gonna be in the AFC Championship game or something stupid, right? I mean, we could keep it real here. So, you know, expecting them to win this game, you know, I thought they were going to play hard and kind of, you know, keep it close like they did. But, you know, I just, you know, after a while, I just got overpowered. They just aren't talented enough, you know, and you started to see it too, especially with the beat up Max Crosby. And I was, you know, I know he doesn't want to come off the field, but like that's another thing with me too. Like, bro, you can't have him play 90 snaps on a bad knee. I know we got a bye week, but that's what I mean when like they're trying to win and make the playoffs, right? Like you got Max Crosby with a bad knee, and he's still playing 98% of the snaps. I don't know. I just feel like you got to tell him what's good for him too, man. Like, bro, you know, even if we lose this game, I mean, we get a bye week. I think you got a bye week next week, right?
Yeah, I got a bye, and then the Vikings.
Right? And then the Vikings, right? So you get a bye week, you can heal your knee, and then I mean, the playoffs aren't gone. But I mean, then go out there and win another game. So I don't know. I felt a little bit type of way about that, but you know, I guess you can't keep them off the field. But throw your helmet all you want, bro. I don't care. Your knees.
Yeah, I mean,
that you getting 2 sacks in this game that we're losing anyways. You know,
I mean, he very clearly. I mean, he got the sack or whatever, but he very clearly was not himself. I mean, you could tell he wasn't 100% this game. Like even. Like, again, one of his sacks for sure, I don't even remember the second one, was a result of Malcolm Kuntz forcing Mahomes to step up in the pocket. Yeah. And it was just like, even heading into the game, I'm like, man, I get it. This guy's a warrior. This guy wants to fight, and he's going to try and play every game. But it was like, let's not be stupid about this. But yeah, I agree with you. You got to get your man, you got to get the guy to save him from himself a little bit there. So
yeah, man. I mean, he played too many snaps. He was still out there every play. I was like, man. But like because things like that is like, this is also a good chance to see your young guys go. I mean, they need to get some more snaps. You just saw some more Tyree Wilson. I saw a lot of Malcolm Kuntz, and you know, Malcolm Kuntz is playing pretty well this year. You know, I think he's good. Eventually, start finishing. I mean, every time he finishes, he gets a holding call on the back end. So he's had like 5 sacks this year, but one is counted. But
Malcolm Kuntz leads the league in sacks taken away.
He's gonna get sacks taken away by holding calls in the back end. But he got a pressure, and then Max ended up getting the sack. But I don't know. It was things like that. Like you can't have Max Crosby out there with a bad knee playing 98% of the snaps. Like Myles Garrett with a healthy knee doesn't play that much, right? So if Crosby's playing even more than that than a normal defensive end, you can't have him out there when he's 98%, man. I don't know.
Yeah.
All right. See what questions we got. Yeah. What y'all think about Marcus Peters getting benched? I want him to get benched before the game started.
So too late.
I have a feeling he gets cut though. What do you think?
Really?
Because come on, he gets benched. You think he's happy? You think there's going to be like a good thing before the locker room explodes? You got to let him go. In my opinion, just get him out of there.
I mean, the one thing I will say though, like, was Jacorian Bennett, was he a healthy scratch or was he banged up this week? I can't remember.
I don't,
because I saw him in street clothes. I'm like, so if they're thin at corner, maybe they throw in the towel and say we're gonna go with the young guys and cut them. But
I don't know. What is David Long doing, bro? What is David Long doing? I don't even know why they cut him. I don't know why. What is he doing? He got picked up. He's chilling somewhere. Go call David. He knows the system. Bring him in. I don't know. But to me, I feel like if Marcus Peters is who he thinks he is, him getting benched on the Raiders with his team and the talent that he has, there's no way you could mend that. It's going to be a lot. And then he's not even tackling anyways. Just cut his ass. I mean, is he having? Is it a 1-year deal? Wasn't he like a lot of guaranteed money? Like,
I think it was 1 year, like $5 million. I don't know what the guarantees were, but
thanks, man. We appreciate you, Brandon. The Raiders. I know you always wanted to do this. It's not working out. Peace. That's kind of how I feel about it. Like, thanks though.
Yeah,
we appreciate.
Well, if they're gonna do it, it's got to happen during the bye week, then, right?
Yeah. He said he was Jacorian Bennett was a healthy scratch. So yeah.
Okay. Maybe, and Sam Webb still in the practice squad? I don't even remember. I don't know at this point.
Is he?
Maybe. I know he was. I don't know if he still is. Let me see.
Man, Jaden Daniels season. Yeah. I did like Jaden Daniels' film. I did like his film. Pretty good film.
I haven't watched it yet.
Pretty good film. He's very accurate. Skinny. I just, it just the luck. The Raiders draft him, and he has like 5 good games, and he starts getting hurt all the time. That's just that would be the Raiders' luck.
That sounds about right.
And he starts getting hurt because he can't. He's too skinny to take hits. David Long. He did get claimed by waivers.
Oh, he did.
He is our practice squad.
Practice squad still is on the, and Webb still is on.
We're getting Facey on too. So cut him. Cut Peters. Cut him.
Oh, that's right. I completely forgot about Brandon Face.
Yeah. Facey. Go ahead.
Because he made the team right before he got put on IR.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, has he hasn't even played yet, has he? And they give him they get Face on.
Yeah, he hasn't played yet, but he's supposed to come back. He's supposed to be on his way back pretty soon. Antonio Pierce talked about it, so that's why I say just peace out, man. At least I know you tackle. You play for Gus Bradley. I know you're going to tackle. Gus Bradley plays you out there. You're going to tackle. I know that at least. So Long's in Atlanta, I guess. So.
Okay. Did not know that.
All right. What else? Do you believe AP is going to win the job? I mean, at this point, like right now, I would say no. At this point, right now, but we got 5 games left. Just 5 games left.
At what, 5 and 7? So
5 and 7. You
think they can win 3 out of 5 or 4 out of 5 from the keep?
I think they can beat the Vikings. I think they can. I think they can beat the Vikings. I think it's a winnable game. I mean, it's not like a game where I feel like they're gonna get blown out or anything, but I think if they go and they execute well, they can win that game. Right. And then they got the Colts and who else?
They got the Colts,
the Chargers.
And the Broncos suddenly. Yeah, they can beat the Chargers. Yeah.
We can beat the Chargers.
Who would? I mean,
we'll find a way to beat the Chargers. Yeah.
The Broncos game looks a lot tougher than it was a few weeks ago.
They're
the hottest team in football right now.
So I mean, say it. Go ahead.
I was gonna say they got Vikings winnable, Chargers also winnable Thursday night too with the home game. Then the Chiefs again, probably gonna be at least the one they lose, and then Colts and Broncos. Mm. So yeah, there's 3 wins in there.
Yeah,
you can convince yourself that there's 3 wins.
You can convince yourself there's 3 wins in there, right? You can convince yourself. Now, I'll say this: if the Raiders don't make the playoffs, which I don't think they will, just if the Broncos are that last game of the season and the Broncos have a chance, it's like a game, it's a win and in. Just beat them and just kick their ass. That's all I ask. Beat the Chargers. See, this is every time the Raiders get other. I got two things: beat the Chargers, beat the Broncos, and I'll keep them.
Why specifically those two teams? I'm just
curious. Because it's just it's just division stuff. Like I just like making fun of.
You just don't want to be last in the division.
Yeah. It'd be so nice because I'm sure like before that game, the Broncos fans would be talking about their winning streak or something like that, or we're about to make the playoffs, and we just knocked their ass out, and I just would feel great about that. I would feel very good. Going into the offseason, like on a game-winning field goal, like knock Russell Wilson out, Sean Payton, you know what I mean? You know what I mean? And beat the Chargers, right? They beat the Chargers, they beat the Broncos. I'll be content. I won't be too upset. I wasn't expecting too much out of the season anyways. I'll be content with that. I'll be content, Just keep the Broncos out of the playoffs. I don't want to see Russell Wilson. I don't want to see that orange or anything on after the new year. I don't want to see it. So
here's what I will say to play devil's advocate. The Broncos have already, if the Broncos do get that like 7 seed, they've already beaten the Chiefs. Yeah. So they could be the ones to knock them out and at least keep the Chiefs out of the playoffs and the AFC Championship and all that, or the playoffs, the Super Bowl and all that stuff. So my one pitch for Russell Wilson.
We need the Bills. The Bills won today, right? I think they won.
Last time I checked, the game still had like 9 minutes left.
They're going
overtime. It's OT. They tied it up.
Yeah, they got overtime. I just looked, but because the Bills are the type of team that will like go like 10-7 and then like beat the Chiefs in the AFC. They're having that type of season where like they suck so much. Not that they suck, but like they're underachieving. But
yeah, they get hot in the playoffs. You mean?
Yeah, they're one of those teams. The Ravens, I don't know. The NFL is so weird this year.
Yeah, for sure.
It's a weird ass.
AFC, especially the AFC, there's like no clear top team unlike the NFC. But even the Eagles, I mean, they're losing to the Bills right now, or tied with the Bills, I guess. That's the.
All right. Is there any other questions here? Nothing really. It's just he's been. Oh yeah, Faceon still doesn't practice. Yeah,
gotcha.
This dude put the points up here. Yeah, that's one of those was by defense. One of those was a safety. Gotta remember that. Still can't score no points this year. I thought we were gonna hit 20. I thought we were gonna hit 20 this game. I thought we were. They had me fooled. I mean, technically they would have if Carlson doesn't miss a 30-yard field goal. God damn. 30 yards, bro. Yeah, I don't know. See, that's why I see the thing is I can't be a coach because I can't stand kickers because they don't practice stuff. You miss a 30-yard field goal, I might cut you, bro. Like I don't know what to do at that point. Like, what's your job? What are you doing?
Yeah,
30 yards,
especially a 30-yarder, and he missed it on the same side of the hash. I'm like, how are you gonna miss? Like, just go for the center, man. Like, tough ones.
Do we know any free agents? Do you have any free agents off the top of your head?
Snead and Jalen Johnson are the two big free agent corners.
Okay.
Kool-Aid is McKinstry's probably the best corner. I don't know a ton about the class, but I mean the Raiders with 5 wins and how many teams are at the bottom of the draft right now, they might be out of range. It depends on how the quarterbacks go, and also the Raiders could be very well in the quarterback market in the draft too, which would make it a lot harder to get a corner too. Obviously,
yeah. You know who I really like? I like that dude from Illinois, man. That defensive tackle.
Oh, Jer'Zon Newton, Newton.
Yeah,
I like that guy too. He's a hoss, dude. Undersized, but he's a stud. I like him a lot. I think I've got him.
How undersized is he? What
is he listed at 6'2", and looks like he's got the little T-Rex arms. He's kind of like
is he 300 pounds at least? Is he 300 pounds at least?
290. He's good though. He's not he's not Kalijah Cansey from last year where he's like just gets pushed around. Like he's physical and strong where he can like hold his ground against the run a little bit. But yeah, he's that's gonna be his biggest like hurdle to get over in the drafts is he's not a good size guy.
So kind of like Ed Oliver type of thing, right? Kind of.
Yeah, but different style, a little bit different style of player. But yeah, similar.
2 more questions we got here, man. So I drop these kids off. Free agent center, yes. So, I'm tired of the Andre James project too, man. I'm tired of him getting beat all the time and blowing up run plays. I'm tired of watching it. I am, and the slow snaps, man. I'll never forget when I pointed that on Twitter. Like everybody got mad at me because Derek Carr's quarterback. I'm so good. I'm so happy Derek Carr's got. I can like point out the stupid stuff. We can talk about stuff like this, like the slow snaps. You know what I mean? You couldn't talk about this shit before, but now we can. But yeah, it's been happening for a while. I hate those slow damn snaps. I'm done with him too.
Andre James is a free agent.
Yeah. I don't know. Daniels in the first. I don't know. That's could be. I gotta watch more games on Daniels, kind of get a feel of him. But I think he has first round talent. People aren't gonna mad at me, but I like JJ McCarthy. But you're not gonna like.
I'm gonna get mad at you if you're pumping the JJ McCarthy hype train.
He was a 4.4, and have you seen his arm, Matt? There's a lot to work with.
No, because they don't trust him to throw the ball, just like we were talking about with Aiden O'Connell.
Have you seen it though? It's a 4.4. He's 6'3", and he has a monster arm. It's like it is.
I'll tell you what. If they hire Harbaugh, they're definitely going to draft JJ McCarthy.
I'm just at this point, like after watching Will Levis, Will Levis said his tape was like awful in college. He looks pretty dead. I'm like, I'm betting on a big arm at this point, like big arm guy. I'm taking my chances. You know what I mean?
What about the two guys that are playing in Vegas on Friday night, Penix and Nix?
See, I like Penix a lot. I think Penix has a big arm. It's more of an accuracy thing with him, and it's just not. It's not as like he doesn't move that well as I would like. I wish he was moving more athletic. Because I only watched one game with this guy, so I hate going like full breakdown. But
sure,
yeah, I want to watch more games. But I watched one on McCarthy, I watched one on Daniels, I watched one on Penix, and then of course I've watched May and a couple times. But yeah, I mean, there's still second tier guys at this draft. Hopefully, maybe the NFL hates Caleb Williams. Maybe that's what we can hope for too. Maybe
Mark Davis gives him an ownership stake,
or something. Maybe the painted nails get too much, the crying. Maybe the NFL, these teams start passing on Caleb. And
we'll see.
I mean, what else can you hope for at this point? You know what I mean? So, all right, let's get out of here, guys. It's the bye week. I guess we'll probably do like a mailbag or something. I don't know. That's what we do every bye week, Matt. We do mailbags. We'll do a mailbag and then do a little review. Check this out because I mean there's some pretty good film here, to be honest, to look at. So yeah, we're out of here. Hope you guys enjoyed this. Peace.
See ya.